Please help a starving artist out by supporting me on Coffee. Thank you. The Pizza Plex lay dormant, a ruin of its former self. A fire that no one could have predicted had broken out. And despite the valiant efforts of its sprinkler system and the fire department, the building turned to ruin. Though there was still something, a faint glimmer of hope for the human employees of the Plex. Among the rubble, people discovered the maintenance tunnels that were still intact, together with parts and services. And technically, the place still had Jews. And hiding there, in the dark, musky halls of the tomb-like tunnels, were signs of artificial life. The animatronics, minus the staff bots, had managed to find refuge under the giant hunk of metal that was DJ Music Man. The most expensive machine ever commissioned by Fazbear Entertainment. And he did his job well. It was him holding up a large piece of roof that had saved the daycare attendant, Roxanne Wolf, Glamrock Chica, Montgomery Gator, and, of course, beloved by everyone, the charming and wonderful Mapbot. Of course, all of them were incredibly shattered, beyond repair. And the only one missing from the Glamrock lineup was Freddy, whose shattered body wasn't able to be found. You were one of the Plex's security guards. Had been on vacation when all this happened. The new girl, named Vanessa, had taken over a couple of your shifts, suddenly, giving you a coincidental week off that you had spent in your favorite amusement park, Liminal Land. And despite it feeling like you had stayed in the park for multiple years, not to mention you didn't even remember what was even in the park, it were just 5 days. Either way, when you returned home and saw over 1,000 unread messages on your work tablet, alarm bells immediately rung through your brain. And that's when you saw pictures of what was left. Desperately you scrolled through the countless messages. Before working at the Pizza Plex, you had been on job search for over a year, and honestly you felt left alone by the world. And yes, working at Freddy's wasn't glamorous. With the exception of a few character, most people just did their thing and left. But it were these people, however, these complete parodies of real human beings, who needed the Plex as no other place would give them any chance. Among them were Charlotte, the receptionist. She was super lazy and quite bratty, and the daughter of the owner of the Pizza Plex. Brian, leader of the day shift, high almost 24/7, and overall way too easygoing for anything serious. And Terminator, a Russian ex-military who, quite frankly, would not fit an office cubicle by sheer size alone. These three had been heatedly arguing with Fazbear's higher-ups. And even Afton Robotics somehow got involved. Honestly, no one knows how the robot company got involved, but it eventually led to Fazbear Entertainment caving in. The day you had returned from vacation had also been the day the current CEO of Fazbear Entertainment, the great-great-grandson of Henry Emily, made the approved stamp of reconstruction. What a roller coaster of emotions this read-through was. Meanwhile, you had been writing the laugh track. Smiling, you quickly typed, "Hi, I'm back," which, after about 2 minutes of absolute silence in the chat, unleashed a cascade of messages. You could barely keep up. 2 days later, it was your first time back at the Plex, you found its smoldering ruins. The guards were the only people left employed as Fazbear Entertainment got the repair crew organized. You had your pepper spray, Montgomery Gator Don't Tread on Me novelty taser, industrial flashlight with strobe function, and a novelty orange Fazbar crowbar, something suggested by Brian, who wielded these things like katanas. Well, gotta have to find your own fun at this place. The reason the guards were stationed here was the emergence of a certain group of people. Looters. Luckily, the mere presence of someone with self-defense measures was enough to deter them. Crowbar and flashlight in hand, you made your way through the soot-covered grounds. It was quite creepy. Half-melted decorations, torn banners and rugs, and honestly, looking at these half-ripped-apart plush toys on the ground made you feel really uneasy. An idea had come to you that would make this far more fun to you. With shaking hands, you pulled out your phone, going through your music library. There were a few songs that you had just flat-out copied from a video game you frequently played. A game about running away from zombies. However, you were so focused on doing this that you didn't notice the frightening shade approach you from behind. And the second your finger pressed the play button, a metal claw pressed into your face from behind. You unleashed a scream of utter terror as a garbled metallic noise laughed its mechanical heart out. "Who are we?" chuckled the machine, as you instantly felt faint, dizzy, and thud. "Oops. Good job, numbnuts. You scared her too much." "We scared her too much. This was our idea." Your head felt like it had been filled with wet sponges. This had been the first time you had ever fainted in your entire life, but as you opened your eyes, for just a moment you thought you'd pass out again out of fear alone. As you realized you were lying on a metal table, staring up directly at the mechanical arms of the protective dome. An instrument that did basic automatic animatronic repairs, but would most definitely rip a fleshy human apart, given the chance. Scared, you looked down at your body. Your uniform was a bit dirty, probably from when you lost conscious, but other than that, everything was where it belonged. Sighing, you took a look around. Yes, this was Parts and Services. An air mattress stood right next to the dome. There was some clutter, probably scavenged animatronic parts that were still usable. And on the ceiling were signs of smoke. Floors seemed to be a bit wet as well, but that was a given since there had been a fire. Out of the corner of your eye, you noticed movement, and you turned to face it. Your jaw dropped. It was the daycare attendant. His pants were incredibly dirty and ripped, right arm completely missing. His face seemingly unable to decide between moon and sun mode. He had the white moon face, yet the yellow sun spikes hanging out. The machine was standing behind the glass, staring at you while excitedly wiggling from left to right. "Ooh, she's up! She's up! She's up!" "Oh, thank Afton. I would have been scrapped if you hurt her." "We would have been scrapped if we would have hurt her." Confused, you got off the metal operation table. "Okay, what's going on?" you asked, confused. Your arms crossed defensively.
Sun scared you.
We scared her!
Shut it. Let me explain. Then you can be annoying.
Why you always mean to us?
You chuckled. Seems like the situation has left you in a state between night and day, huh?
He calls what we have become now Eclipse. It is, quite condescending.
You are a moon overtaking a sun. That's an eclipse.
The voice that was his night personality sighed. You looked behind yourself. The dome was open. You groaned in relief. You left it and sat down on the air mattress. According to the other guards, Brian had brought it so there was something dry to sit on. Of course, it was a bit dirty after being used by multiple people, but that was okay. You weren't going to sleep on this thing. The animatronic, referring to itself as Eclipse, now walked over to you, still excitedly wobbling left to right.
Why must I be punished with this? What did I ever do?
You mean we did?
Shush, you interrupted the two. Do you guys know what happened? The robot stopped wiggling.
Accessing our data bank.
Searching for Night of the Fire. Corruption detected. Isolating. Deleting. Deletion complete.
No memories found.
You sighed. Would have been too good to be true, huh? Your gaze then shifted over to his body, and a wave of melancholy overcame you. You're all dirty still.
Fazbear Entertainment does not want to fix us.
By us, he means all the animatronics. We're gonna be backed up, and our bodies are scrapped.
You smiled gently at the robot. Well, that does sound like they're gonna fix you. Excited, the machine's head spikes retracted and shot out again. Happy, he jumped from left to right.
Oh, of course! We will then be two people again!
Finally, I'll be rid of this thing.
Is it really that difficult to be two at once? The animatronic sighed.
As Eclipse, as Sun so eloquently puts it, I, Moon, do not have control over my own body when it's bright. But as soon as it's dark, he becomes an annoying passenger in my head, bugging me constantly as I scramble through the rubble.
That's because we're a team. We're supposed to be a team. We're just trying to help.
Whatever.
As the robot was bickering with itself, you had picked up a semi-clean washcloth from the workbench and some half-empty soap.
Ooh, what do you have there?
Some Kleenex. I think you need a wash.
Oh, you're too kind to us, Night Guard.
Moon remained silent. You sprayed the liquid onto his face and rubbed over the soot-covered mouth. After a few seconds, he looked clean enough. Aw, stop dancing, silly. I'm trying to help you. The robot really was excited now. And the machine went limp, allowing you to wash over his severely damaged animatronic shell. You skipped the missing arm, of course. You didn't want to shock yourself. But as you reached the animatronic's lower half, his hand quickly covered it.
That's a no-no area.
You looked up and with a grin you said, "Oh, someone's embarrassed." Returning to eye level with him, Eclipse looked at the ground.
Maybe, but maybe there's no more daycare we can ban you from, so there isn't really anything we can give you as a consequence.
Cheekily you pecked the robot on his mouth, his head spinning excitedly.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
May I clean you properly now? You said, amused.
Rinse all the dirt out of my chassis, Night Guard. It's gonna feel nice.
Hey, thank you for watching my video until the end. If you're new here, I hope you stick around and watch a few more. But before I say goodbye, I'd like to remind you to like the video and subscribe. That really helps the YouTube algorithm. That's all. Hope you have a good day. Until next time. Bye!